morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this is for you. Morning for me. Yeah, I sit down and have this time with you after first dose of medicine. Sometimes the second dose of medicine starts to kicking in. Oh, that helps loosen up so I can do the shuffling. It was a Therapy Thursday, said I'm recording this, don't matter which day. All these lessons are relevant hey, but they're not all relevant at the same time. There is stuff we're going through collectively and globally. Still, all we can do is that individual work, right? The world changes one person at a time, right? That's the person you can change. You. I go with this candle today. I used to light them all the time. Right? Some real hard stuff in my life, hardest than I've ever had to deal with. There's a reputation out there that I'm mentally unstable. Of course, I'm way back out in BC. And it's feeling like this might be something that's not healthy. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I always take responsibility and look at me first. Out there, first kind of diagnosis, it was mild reactive depression. So I react to what's going on around me. It doesn't consume me. I can get over it real quickly because I know. And I've been practicing. It's practicing. I've been practicing for many, many years. Many years. It's not perfect, not at all. But I know I don't hold grudges and move on. You know, there was something in a couple past relationships. Oh, you just keep hanging on. No, I've forgiven you, but you keep doing the same stuff. So now it's the same shit, but this is a new thing. I already forgave you for that shit back here, but here you're doing the shit again. So, anyways, I had my daughter last night. She doesn't want to spend the night. She doesn't want to make her lunch here. They have rules with their mom. Their expectations are very below what they're capable of. But they've been talked and treated like they have a really strict and harsh mom, and there's been no understanding about what mom's going through, and mom is a human being. Mom, take responsibility. And everybody goes, yes, it's your fault. I'm not the only one. That's I did things that brought her own bias against me in courts and things like that. And all I want to do is make sure my children are safe. Now they've been... The next court isn't until July. And that's by the grace of God. All my relations then able to hold it together at all. Because that's what they're hoping for. Because then that would totally prove it. Because I feel like I'm going crazy because you go through crazy making stuff. People tell you, that's not true. And this is what was said. This is being ignored. Never did anything to alienate my kids from anybody in their lives. That says something about, it's not about them. That's my children. It's my children, and my children are allowed to love who they love. That's not up to me. I don't speak bad of them. I teach them like I was taught. That they loved them. But we gotta learn lessons, and this is the cycles. That's why we gotta learn for ourselves and not repeat the cycles and those toxic, unhealthy communication. A lot of families have. It's not just one family. Everything I say is being used against me. Even forwarding my YouTube videos. Because they want me to be silent because they know what they've done is wrong. They know that they've lied. If they take the stand, they're perjuring themselves in court. And it's all lies. And I'm telling the truth. I'm not trying to keep my children away from anybody. I'm trying to do what's best. Do it in a safe way. And then my children are already taken the one to Peterborough Health Improvement Team or whatever, FIT program for obesity. Had some slight obesity. And now that's coming back because their diets isn't healthy there. It's just all sugar and meats and extra salt on your stuff and sugar on your Fruit Loops, and they pegged that all on me. As I said, I had to utilize the food bank. I haven't done that over a year or more. Never really needed to. I felt bad. Go down there. And then my kids don't eat anything. So like this could have gone to families that would have eaten this stuff. So I just go shop what I need for that day for supper, try and cook it right away or whatever anyways. It didn't feel good. Didn't feel good yesterday. Feel like I'm being lectured. You don't want your kids to be court kids. I've never been one to, take your kids to court. You don't have to. You try and work it out between you. And we always did. We always did. Even before this, my daughter disclosed to me, but there was nothing animosity between them. We were helping to, hey, we're going to move into this and move into how we're going to, to being the friends and co-parents, because, I always said we made better friends than lovers. But he wasn't really a friend. Not even a friend. Everything's for his own agendas to make himself look good. I'm not saying any names or nothing. Not much personal information. If somebody's taking it as that's them, that's them. Ah. Anyways. Therapy Thursdays. What can we do? Let's look at that in these overalls. When we're feeling trapped, where our voice has been taken from us or made to be like, that's the crazy voice. So, whatever she says is, right? Whatever that is. Whatever that is. And what happens when your voice has been silent and there's nobody there standing up for you? What do you do? Right? I can call in spirit, God, but hey, they've all blocked him out too, so. Right, man's right in man's own mind. You man, right in our own minds, right? We don't tap into that divine spirit. Go, what the heck? What is the highest and best interest of all here? Is it in the highest and best interest of children to take them away from their loving mother? They've been there. Everything, put their needs ahead for everything when she's in her belly and stuff. Is that the good thing? Right? Mother, sad right now because her kids are being torn away from her, because we would do great, get into routines, and then people will come in thinking, right? And of course, kids are going to put on a fuss because they're going to make my mom look mean. Whatever, not that they consciously think that, but, of course. Right? Or we spoil their fun, whatever, when we have rules and stuff. But when you got other adults coming in, actually treating those kids like they're victims because they have one chore they got to do. And if they don't do it, that it's a little bigger. So, because they're being taught about, hey, when you procrastinate, the job doesn't go away, it makes it big, whatever. See, so what do you do? What do you do when your voice has been taken from you and you have so many speaking out against you, and these people, in the eyes of the court look like they know what they're talking about, but they don't. They don't. And they're just talking from their own asshole opinions. Excuse me, but that's exactly what it is, because nobody came to me. Nobody that wrote these letters came and talked to me directly to my face. Except for one, but then she was going around behind my back. And if that hadn't started right at the start, right? I just wanted to find out what's going on with my kids. I wanted to do it in a quiet way because this affects my kids. I don't want this out there. That's for them. That's their stories. And it just got blowing up. Blowing up. Anybody knows? Where'd you hear from? Where'd you hear from? Was it from me? Did you hear from me? So was I actually trying to sabotage and make somebody else look bad? Huh? Is that the truth? Was I trying to make somebody else look bad? Did you hear from me? Did I go on the phone calling everybody? Guess what he did now? Oh, guess what's going on now? Right? No. I keep to myself. I'm a private person, and that's those people that take advantage of you. Count on that. They don't think you're going to speak up. They think you're just going to lie there and take it. That's done. Done with that. I ain't just going to lie here and take it. I'm finding out all my rights. I'm going. Hopefully we can do that native circle. But, you know, right? They say is you don't negotiate with terrorists. Alrighty then, let's call all of our energies back to us. Excuse me. It's fresh, right? It's fresh. I get like this when it's fresh. And if you watch my videos, you see, yeah, I have a crying video, but there's balance in there. I can regulate my emotions. When you're going through that grieving, though, I'm a human being. I'm still a human being. It's like anybody. Oh, calling back all of our energies from the east, path of illumination and clarity. Place of men, place of fire, spirit. Calling back all of our energies from the south, the waters, the emotions, the childhood. Calling back all of our energies from the west, the earth, the physical, the woman, place of introspection. And we call back all of our energies from the north. That's the wisdom years, the air, the mental. We walk a red road, praying for that inner peace. Hopefully we gain our own, what you call it, sense of well-being. I don't know, that connection. Hopefully we learn we have that connection to that source, that we're part of all of that, whatever that is, up into adulthood, up into the wisdom years. Excuse me, I'm going to go turn that off. To the thunder beings, hopefully with usable energy. Right here. Usable energy, wouldn't that be cool? We all like to bottle up that child's energy, right? But where do we get that? We get more energy when we retreat and rest, right? And we can renew that energy. So look at that, thunder beings, because that's reusable, renewable, totally sustainable energy from the universe, right? Universal energies, universal flow. We're not working from our own and trying to push things to happen, but that's how we learn, right? It's supposed to be work hard and blah, blah, blah. And then we get up there and it's work smarter, not harder. And we use that energy, right? With that little effort that brings off that big return. Well, I look at it in business, right? Small investment and big return, whatever. East to west. It's the same with our love deposits in the energy, right? A little effort can bring a big return. We have to be willing to put in that effort, right? East to west, that unity, wholeness achieved, right? When we come back to that spirit, right? Oh, well, we go through that and Western Gate, right? But this is what we need to bring ourselves whole and full together here and not be thrown off by anything outside. If we are, what is that reflecting to you in here? What's that for you? East to west is the blue road of spirit. We come in through that Eastern Gate, we join. The spirit comes with the body, and we need to see that we're whole, holy spirit, holy body made of this earth and animated by the spirit. What is that? There's so many options out there. Spirit knows. Spirit knows. So many options, the viewpoints when you're coming in, the contracts you made, if that is the thing that you do. That is driving me crazy. I hope it's not bothering you. I'm going to have to go get that thing. Please go lay down. It's hard to focus right now. It's been hard last night because there is this pain, physical pain, and I don't want to add to that. Anyways, above, below, and within. And within. There we go. So, yeah, physical pain. And then I just keep thinking, I can't. Then how am I going to stand up for my kids if I'm totally gone? Wow. Right? Is it worth the risk? I don't know what's happened. I don't know. I know. what I've witnessed. I know what I've experienced firsthand myself. What I've seen with my own eyes. What I've heard. What I've been told. Oh, that's hard. I want to go check myself in, but then they win, right? That's my children that lose. It's my children that lose. Children are losing now, acting like they're spoiled brats, coming home trying to manipulate. And they're beautiful kids. They're beautiful kids. My kids are amazing. Such unique individuals. You know, so special. They're the most special kids in the world to me. Right? They're the best. They're the best, right? I mean, all kids are special, but of course, my kids are most special to me. As any parent should be. So, I miss them very much. It's about what they've learned. It's not their fault we're in this position. It's not my daughter's fault that she spoke up and asked for help. In these situations, you don't send them back with grooming and things like that happens. Right? And it doesn't have to be scary. It can be bought. I know stories of, you know, they're grown-up women and how it was made so normal, and some actually felt that they were in love. Right? That's that trauma bonding. Right? Trauma bonding. They actually feel that they're in love with their fathers or their stepdads or whatever. They grow up and they still believe that even as adults. Oh, look at how twisted. Okay. And with it, what do we do? This is, you know, because we have to keep control. If you're in a situation like this too, geez, the more you show your emotions, the more it just shows, oh, they're so unstable. Which is natural. And of course I've had people like, how can you not want more than this? And like, you know, well, you know, geez, you should have went through this. Whatever. There's always going to be different ends of the spectrum, so don't judge yourself. I know I'm not the first one to go through this, and this sadness isn't just for me, but that the other people that have gone through this, and I've seen the adults of these children gone through that. And I'm one of them. Different things, you know. It wasn't just what I went through, but what others went through too. And it's harder to watch somebody else hurting than to go through that pain myself. I've always wanted to take their pain away because I know I could trust and that helped me. Okay. Overall, thank you for that comfort. There are these comforting thoughts, little potential lessons in here we can look at. All this unfairness in the world, all of the bias in the world, all the rules made by all those people, and all the monies, and they're not the honest people. Not all of them. It's not all. It's not blanket across anything, okay? Thank you very much. Words of comfort. Words of comfort. Anybody else that might feel in this position too, feeling their voice has been silent, or the more they say, right, they're sinking themselves deeper like caught in quicksand, right? The more you struggle, the faster you sink. Alrighty, up at the top there, that overall, that sharing, that quickening, that pow, wow, right? Excitement building before the babies come. Thinking back to that and remembering those times that we had. That we got to love it all. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, right? And they're not lost, they're still there. Still my children. I carry all the stretch marks. I had that extra belly button from my first one too. This is a hard one. Please excuse me. Hey, join in if you need to. Maybe you need a release too. And you're not feeling so alone. I'm doing that, right? So we can come together. Let's share. We can share our sorrows, and that makes them less. Sharing our joys increases them. Sharing our sorrows make them less, because we see that somebody else is going through that. We take that time to look inside. That's all we can do. Do that healing in here, and then we can share from that healed heart. You know, again, maybe it's that time for that balancing, right? Having that faith in what I was there with their foundation years, right? My daughter's 7 now, but she said stuff at 4, so that got in there. Well, I don't know. It's gone typically how these things go. Anyways. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that, seeing those times where we've come together and, sharing those sorrows and making them less. I've been through that too. And this is what got me through, and not, we don't want to have pity parties, right? For sure. So it's not about, that sucks. And we just keep sharing these circle and spiraling downward and downward because we're feeling like victims. Let's sharing those celebration times, right? Because it's that quality of time we had, not the quantity, but the quality. So what's that quality of time you're spending with those loved ones in your life? What's the quality? It's not about the quantity of time. It's the quality. So what do you put in those moments that you have together? What's that quality of time you put into your self-care and looking in at yourself? What is that? What is that? Because that's all we can do is take some introspection. What is this telling me? Look at the times that we did have. Look at that positive. Okay, foundation years. I had them. I carried them even longer than 9 months. So what is that saying for you, whatever you're going through? If your voice is getting lost out there, unheard, right? This is the way we can do it. There's other ways to share it, other ways to express, to release these things, because it's better out than in, right? But not out in a loving way, and not out where it's projected out onto somebody else, right? And we're going to work out our shit from somebody else. Like our relationships are not to take our shit out on somebody else or project our shit onto. That's not what they're there for. They're reflections. They're either reflections or projections. We have to look within at that. What are we sharing? Is it sharing from that heart and that full cup? Or are we sharing from our emptiness and feeling more empty? I don't know. What is that? Let's reflect before we go take an action on that. There we go. So we're looking at that creative energy inside, going inside to that introspection. We're looking at little victories. Look at how far we've come. You've survived 100% of everything until now. Even our children. I'm looking at that. Look at how our littles, what our littles went through. So we can be that healing for them. Look at that victory. Have how we've stood up for a little. Maybe there was a time couldn't use your voice and then you could. What is that? And we're looking at all the little things. It's not a great big victories. Look at all the little mini victories that led to those bigger ones. What is that? And dolphin breath, help us return to center that life force. So, right, 2040. 2040. What's that victory? You've survived everything. You are here now. Your children are on their own journeys too. And sometimes what seems like a loss or a failure, maybe that is a victory. We don't see that because we get caught up in how we think it should be. I feel it feels unnatural and my children aren't here with me. My first one, I didn't get to help him move out either. It was like they're being stolen from my little nest when I just got us the little nest to settle into. I know I don't want to keep myself here, but I have to honor the feelings too. It's true, these feelings are there. I can look at the positive side too, right? Now I put in my self-care, build myself stronger, and they ain't gonna throw me off. We'll get right to that friggin' stand. They won't throw me off. You know, I pray that maybe this healing circle, but you know what? He's been difficult through this whole flippin' thing. Even his own lawyer got upset with him. At one point, I overheard it. She shut up real quick because she said, oh, that's the other client there. So I don't know. I'm just assuming. I have no idea. I just assumed. But I know what it's like to deal with that man. It's fucking always right. There's no saying no to him. You know? And he's not a bad man. He's bad. You get hurt and then you just becoming hard yourself, right? And just hangs on to the anger. But when you get hooked, you can become addicted to emotions too, right? You know. So we look at that. Those little victories. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it will be a victory from my children. I don't know. Maybe they need to balance that out. I just pray to God nothing worse happen. No, Randy, when something doesn't, they talk to me, they've already. All this. Everybody has faith, but do they? Everybody believes. Everybody believes I could do this to my children. And that can't happen. Everybody could believe I was mentally disturbed and, you know, take it out on my children, but they can't believe something else, right? I've been honest, I've been a goody two-shoes my whole life, yet, right? No, let's believe the one that has been the one that's great at telling stories, and people don't know when they're telling the truth or not. Like, you don't know. That's his joking around, too. You never know when he's serious, when he's joking. It's all part of the game. No, but we'll believe this one. But we won't believe the one that has a history of the most she's been accused of is being too honest. Always tell you the truth, but let's not believe the people that are honest. Let's believe the ones that can, you know, here's the money. Anyways, I know, there's my personal stuff coming through, but I know I'm not the only one, so maybe that's why it's coming through, because you felt it too, you know that. So what do we do then? What do we do? We're looking at that, we're getting in touch, we're looking at that. So then where do we go from here? What do we do? What do we do now? What's that action, that step that we can take? What's that path we can walk down? Who's that animal that's offering their medicine that we can learn from in ourselves? Oh. Mm-hmm. There. This is what we do, do. That's the hummingbird. Look at that. No, that's the peyote. Peyote. Well, it's a coyote hummingbird. I don't know. It looks like a hummingbird, ain't it? A peyote bird. From the peyote. Now, we don't need to go and do these, but that helps you get in touch, get your own conscious mind out of the way. I said unconscious out of the way the other day. Get your conscious mind out of the way, get that busy. So you want to get in touch into your subconscious. So that's what we do here. That's what that is all about, those new abilities and renewed abilities. Because now, hey, what we did for survival, and now we can switch it. It would be funny if that other one's it too. We'll see in a minute. Right? So we're taking that action with those new abilities. When they take that breath, here's a victory because we learned something from this. And so we're not going to do this in the same way. That's a victory if we've changed that. And we renewed those abilities, or we have new abilities, a new way of thinking out of it, new way of being, right? No, 4-8, that's the power. That's the power, finding that inner power, right? In power, not power over, right? And it's hard. It's hard when you feel like there's a lot of power over you. How do I feel empowered when everything seems to keep squashing me down? How do I feel empowered when it seems like everybody's just hitting hitting the road and turning their back on you because, hey, that's too much of a fight. This guy's scarier. Or, you know, I get more from him than I do from you. So, you know, especially if you're into material stuff, because I got the love over here. I'm rich with love, and I'm open and freely generous with my love. But I don't have the monies. Excuse me. You know, material has never been important to me. You know, I have special little sentimental things, but I don't need a whole lot of things. I like less things. I learned really young. We had to pick up and leave really fast. So you just take whatever you got there. So I know I've had to leave everything before. I know how to do that, but I just like to keep a little couple special things, right? The quality, not the quantity. It's the quality, not the quantity, and that's always been for me, quality, not quantity. That's where the power lies. It's those little moments, those little things make such a big difference. Make such a big difference. Right? And that's the Sunday. It's the self-sacrifice. Did we sacrifice ourselves? Our own beliefs? Is that how we got into that? If we can see, right? And we can turn that hindsight into 2020, right? Hindsight is 2020, they say, but we can turn that into foresight. We can turn that 2020 into foresight. Whatever that is, right? And stop sacrificing ourselves when there's no need to. We're doing the sacred spiral dance. There should be a give and take, right? Should be give and take. Give and take. That's the fairness, right? Give and receive. All right. Let's stop with the taking. We don't have to reach out, take it. You know, you want it, go get it, grab it, whatever. That's the thing. There's a difference. There's a different energy to taking and receiving. Being open to receive and then taking something. So let's maybe even switching that new abilities of learning how to receive instead of take, right? Be caregiving instead of taking care, because caretaking comes to be more about the, right? It can. I don't know. What's that saying to you? This is what we can do. We're in these sacred spirals. Are we going to keep spiraling down? Or get empowered and see how we could help lift ourselves up. What's going on inside? What is this teaching us about our own lives? Our children's on their own journeys. You don't know what Creator has in store for them. So that sharing and quickening, introspection, overcome doubt and fear. I'm placing up top just one, please, and thank you. Just one, introspection, sharing, quickening. Sharing and quickening. Oh, there we go. Spiritual family, 9 of Bowls. Coming together with your spiritual family, hey? And it's not to say, oh, let's forget all about the blood. No. We need to appreciate all parts of our family, spiritual family, our biological families, all of that, because it all became a part of us. And we are all one to everyone out there, right? And spiritually, we're connected to everyone. Maybe DNA only connects us to a few, whatever that is for you. I don't know. But we're looking inside how we're coming home to that spiritual family, that 9 of Bowls. We're on that journey to return. See the family on the island there waiting for them. Or is this the one being balanced in their male and female energies, right? Or is that the couple, both each balanced in their male and female energies, returning home to share with their family? Maybe they're on that journey across the sea. Yes, we found another land, but we don't want to go over there. They're fighting. Let's just stay here where it's peaceful. Maybe they went off to the cities and they're returning back to that deserted island. I don't know, what is that? It's that introspection. Your family, the family of origin, where you've come from, looking at that, right? Do they come together? Do they still celebrate, right? Do we come back together for parties and family gatherings? And how does that go? How do you feel about that? Do you avoid them, right? Do you hide yourself in your family? Maybe if you start shining your light in your family, I don't know. Maybe we feel too afraid of doing that because that's where our first experience of rejection comes from. And if we're rejected in our family of origin, wow, how's that going to affect us when we're putting ourselves out there? Are we going to feel worthy of love if our own family, especially like birth parents or anything like that, they've turned their backs on you? Or maybe, hey, you were so loved, they were so great, but then all of a sudden, no, they're the bad one. right? So then, but you don't know. It wasn't based on anything you did. First, you're like, right? Given the red carpet treatment or whatever, you're so special. And the next thing is like, you're nothing. You're nothing. That's part of that gaslighting, and that's part of that trauma bonding. Because then it's like, well, what did I do? Because it was just like this yesterday. Like I was, no, they loved me yesterday and they hate me today. What did I do? That's that natural thing. What did I do? But the ones that want to take advantage of you, that's part of that trauma bonding. That's how you get trauma bonded. So, your spiritual family, whether they're biological or whatever, they're not going to judge you. They're going to accept you as you are. They're going to love you as you are. They're not going to say, this is who you need to be because this is in this family. That's that position. And we're not going to see you in any other light except for that one because that's where you belong in this family. Whatever that is. I don't know. Look at that in yourself. Look at those cycles in your own self, in your own families. Right, we'll move to the dolphin over here, just one. And then we see those little victories. See those little victories. Maybe we did stand up to our family. Maybe we did. Right? Maybe we're able to channel that light and it made a change. Let's look at that, those small victories where we took that breath and we were able to respond instead of just reacting, right? Where we were able to take command, like it was yesterday, command of our feelings for the good of highest, best interest of all. Right? Starting that with ourselves. We're apprenticing. We're learning that. See, there's the apprentice as we're moving over into these new skills. So we're learning how to channel the light. We're contemplating that. And creatively, how do we do that? How do you channel the light? Is it in through your services? Is there something you create? What is that? What is that? Is it a new ability that you have or renewed? And do you feel empowered when you're channeling that light? Let's look at that. How are those times when you got in touch and you felt like totally in the groove and everything just went boom, 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 so smooth. Look at that victory. What was that? We're reflecting on those times, taking that introspection. That's what this is about today. Thursdays. And those new abilities that empower you. It's new or newest abilities. We're going to look at those. I'm going to shuffle them in because that's a wow, right? Accepting recognition, early adeptship, swimming in eternal light, brave herald of new thought, gathering together, gathering all parts of yourself together, all your emotions, everything you felt. That's how we get our power. We need to bring it all back in here. It doesn't help us all scattered everywhere else. Whole and complete, sharing from that wholeness, channeling the light. Right, that's the usable energy. We're not trying to drain our own selves and sacrifice our own selves because that isn't, to be we've had our martyrs and all that, right? So let's look at that. What do we think of self-sacrifice? Is it that ego self, or you think you've got to sacrifice yourself? You can't have things that you want, sacrifice your own wants and needs, whatever that is, right? And let's expansion of knowledge, the apprenticeships of stones. See that foundations, that new abilities to see that there's enough to go around, getting past this scarcity, right? Feeling in power. We don't need to have power not over our children, not over nothing. Our emotions, maybe. Our thoughts, right? We're looking at expanding our knowledge with that new abilities, new ways of trying things. Maybe there's something you always wanted to try. You didn't? That's something to do. Channel the light. Things that you've done maybe work from your own energy. You're trying that in a new way, right? So expanding your knowledge on something. Maybe you've only seen in one way, right? And maybe getting a new ability out of that. What is that for you? That's what you're doing. Finding that power within, right? That says, yes, this is who I am, right? And you come home to who you are. The 10 of Pipes. Right, as we have up here, the 9 of Bowls coming home to London. You got the 10 of Pipes and channeling because we're coming home to that source inside of us. We're being an example for those little ones. The little inside, we're taking care of that little inside. The little ones around the outside, those invisible eyes. Not invisible eyes. Those little eyes that are always there, that chariot. There's that chariot. In the regular deck, the warrior, rest and success. The warriors weren't about fighting. The warriors took care of the elderly. It was about protecting their tribes and will too, but it wasn't about fighting. It was about the peaceful, right? And we're all these whirling warriors of peace. What are you here to do? How do you bring peace to this world? Because we all do in one way or another. We all bring light and beauty to this world in one way or another. What is it your job? See, he's on that horse. We get on that horse and we ride. We got eagle flying with us, right? Or sword of truth, whatever that is for you. But it's time. Time to take that journey inside. Return to that spiritual family. Maybe it's those loving guides and guardian angels that God had set up to be with you throughout this journey to help you. Right? Because we're not just, here you go, left alone, thrown to the sharks. Thrown out to the wolves. Fend for yourselves, a little sheepies. Right? No, it's not like that at all. So, there we grow. What you think of that now? Let me know. Okay. It's over here. You want to stay up there? No. Fine. Stick you right there. Right there. Ha-ha! Biggest heart hugs ever. I love y'all. Thank you so much. See the difference. Once we come back together and we connect with that source. So everything is in divine and perfect order, even when it doesn't look that way. We are all okay. We're all going the same way on this earth, right? Keep spinning in that same direction. We're all going in the same place, really. So we're all on this earth, though. Look at us, all traveling together. It's so beautiful. I love traveling this world with you. Thank you. Oh, thank you for being you. Shining your light through in everything you do, because you know what, this world, it really needs you. It needs us all to take that look inside and live from that wholeness. Right? Not where we have to sacrifice ourselves and keep an eye out for us. We're repeating cycles that we want to switch. We want to expand our knowledge on how do we do that, because if we keep in the same families, then we're not going to know. Right? Nothing changes, but nothing changes. You don't expand your knowledge if you don't go learn something else. Right? If you keep reading the same book over and over and over again, it's not going to expand your knowledge. Right? Time for a new book, maybe. I don't know. What is that for you? Love yous. Thank you.